Welcome everybody to another episode of Non-Fungible News. Today, we get to sit down with the team of VeGnomes, the very doxed, the very open about what they're doing team. Rob and Jeff, we're excited. If you could, before we get going, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like and subscribing to the channel. We're bringing more and more of this content, and I will say that we're going to have a little sneak peek on this one. But fellas, how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing great. I think we're both doing great. Me and Rob, I don't know, we share the same energy, and I feel like we kind of feed off each other, and it's always like boomerangs back to get back to each other. So I don't know, we're feeling good. I mean, I'll speak for myself, and then I'll let Rob speak for himself. But we're doing good, and we're just excited about everything that's going on and everything that's in the works. And as you know, in the VeChain space, just staying busy, right? It's like there's new things every day we're thinking about, and keeping the community engaged and everything like that. So I'm doing good. Rob?
Fantastic, man. Life is good. Just working on art, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just enjoying building the community and just working on more projects, man. How about you?
Oh, I'm fantastic. I love it when I love these Saturdays, or really any day that I'm able to sit down with other members of the V fam and get to know each other a little bit, get to talk and have a good time, and then record a video like this to put up for the masses to see. So, and today was, my interview for the day, had to reschedule. So you guys were able to just jump in and fill the spot. So I'm greatly appreciative of that.
We're on call.
Yeah, it was good timing for us. This works out perfectly. So I'm glad it synergizes well between the three of us.
Absolutely. So as we said, the VeGnomes team, give us a little background on how you guys came to working together and how the idea for the VeGnomes came about. Just kind of a nice little backstory on you guys.
For sure. Rob, why don't you go ahead and explain how we kind of first met, and then I'll kind of segue into like my thought process behind just like building the foundation and where we went from there.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah, well, I've been working on my art, some digital stuff, but mostly like painting and stuff for a long time, like 10 years. But last year in August, I quit my job and I decided to work on my art full time. And so like, right, maybe the 2-3 weeks after I quit my job, I did out here where Jeff and I live in Pennsylvania. Kennett Square is the mushroom capital of the world. And so they have a mushroom festival. And so I got a booth there with my art, and I was set up there like all day Saturday. I think Jeff came Saturday. I just randomly, he walked up and right away I was like, "What's up, dude?" And, just had the same vibe. And we started talking, and I think it was either that day or the next day, him and his buddy were there and they bought a piece of my art. But Jeff mentioned like, "Hey, have you ever heard of NFTs?" I was like, I have, but I don't know anything about it. And so he came back the next day and we were just like kind of vibing again. And then after that, I think we were exchanging messages through Instagram or something. But he just started coming over and we were like, let's just try to make something, man. At first I just sent him some images of stuff that I had already made, and I think that was like you were just trying to get it up on VC or something like that. And it kind of didn't go anywhere. And I was like, is this worth my time? And then he was like, I think we should make a project. And I paint gnomes sometimes. I have done it in the past. And I was like, why don't we do these gnomes? And we just kind of snowballed from there, man. And things just took off. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, it was epic. We can get into our background a little more later, but basically like we said, we met at the Kennett Square Mushroom Festival, and the energy, the vibe was right there. Like immediately we connected, and it was like, I was like, because basically I'm coming from participating in V-Punks on day one, right? Tier 1 minting V-Punks, minting the World of V Genesis cards, and just not only one in profit, right? Gaining some VeChain on it, but also just loving the entire NFT space as a whole, just like slowly getting immersed into it. I'm like, this is awesome. They're building these awesome like just like decentralized applications and protocols, and they're building these communities, and some of the art is epic. Some of those original airworthy like VeChain cards that he was developing for World of V, I remember seeing those and I was just like, these are so cool. I mean, I think I'm using my phone right now, it's still my phone background, so I was like immersed in the art side of it, the community, the fact that it was like very relevant, right? All the projects were minting out and getting in profit. So I was coming from that frame and I was just like, I love this VeChain space. I'm in the Discords every day. How can we like take a next step? And I would love to create a project. And I remember the first thoughts, it's like, oh, creating a project, like there's no way. I don't know enough, right? I'm new, like you need a blockchain coder. I don't know anything about that. You need an artist. You need someone who's able to market it properly. And then I meet him, I meet the artist, and I'm like, well, this is step one. And even now on the first day, I'm like, yeah, I met an artist, but like, is it still really like possible we can make this work? Like, there's so much. And like, whenever you're pursuing something that you're really passionate about and you want to make happen, you kind of got to just like push those thoughts to the side and just be like, yeah, you're always going to be a little skeptical, but like, you just got the artist. You just got step one. What's step two? Now, why don't you go see if there's a launch pad, right? And then, reach out to Brett. Hey, we want to create a project, XYZ. How does this work? And then his response makes me realize, oh, this is way more doable than possible. They know how to write the smart contract. We just have to figure out how to generate, the collection and everything like that, and make sure the metadata is in order. And from there, it's just basically being on YouTube every day and just learning as much as possible, right? So I went about learning how to figure out the generation, right, to just algorithmically generate the collection and stuff like that. We kind of both put our heads together in terms of the thought process of ideas of just, all right, let's start a little, Google Sheet. Let's throw a Google Doc. Let's throw down all the info that we think we need, right? Let's lay out some tokenomics for the project. Let's just throw down all of our ideas for the art, right? And so a lot of that just comes Rob's creativity and flow. I mean, he has boxes and boxes of just like sketches that, and you can see it. It's almost just like a mental process that flows onto the paper. It's really cool. So to see him like bring a lot of the ideas that like even I wrote down to life, it was epic. I love it. So that was kind of how we met, and it was just like a cascade effect from there. Essentially, it's been great so far.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, the project too has been great. I think you guys are one of the few that have not once dropped below minting price. Is that correct?
I believe so. So, I mean, if you look on the VeChain tools, there's a few sales for like 100 vet or like 300 vet, some like weird, really low amounts. And I think that was like people either like testing transactions or like, doing some weird, like sending an offer to themselves from another wallet and buying it for some reason. So other than that, there was a short period where we dropped right back to like mint price for a few days. But ever since then, I mean, we've been above mint price. And I mean, as of the past few weeks, this is the highest we've been sustained for a while. We're somewhere between 650, 700. It was as high as 800 about a week ago. So to be floating from 650 to 800 when the mint price was 333, I'm very fulfilled. Like, I'm very happy with that, because originally creating the project, I remember just having this like kind of feeling this big weight on my shoulders. Like, all right, that's great. We made a project. We did what we want to do. It's sold out. That's awesome for us. But I have this like moral obligation to make sure everyone who invested in the project gets my absolute all. And I want to ensure that the mint price, that the floor price appreciates above the mint price over time, because it's like, sure, you can sell out a project. That's cool, man. But are you actually going to like pull through and create and actually like cultivate the project and community? Because that's what it's actually about at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And man, honestly, like I said, this is all super new to me, and I didn't understand anything beyond the making the art of it. And Jeff mentioned so many times from the jump, like how important it is to him that he wants to get people a return on their investment. You know what I mean? It was like from day one, he was like, we have to make sure that like people are rewarded for supporting this project. So it's been on our minds, and the community is amazing. We have so many people in there that have been solid. They're in the Discord every day, just like pumping shit, coming up with ideas. And one more thing too, man, is Heian Stone helped us out, man. He helped us out big time.
Oh, yeah.
Leading up to the mint, he did a lot of the back end stuff, and he helped us build the community and stuff. And so he was a big help too, man. It was kind of like, he added some ideas as well. So there was a lot along the way for us.
Yeah, like I said, the one thing I'll just add is like, that was one of the pieces that we needed. I was like, we need a coder that knows this code work, and I'm not a dev. I'm new to this stuff. I'm willing to learn as much as I can every day, but without him, the project simply wouldn't have been possible. The Discord wouldn't have been built out as nicely. We would have had problems with the metadata, and so it was definitely a team effort to make everything come to fruition. Well,
definitely. Ham Stone deserves a shout out because he's reached out to me to help me with my own, just my videos and stuff. He's super great dude in the community. So you guys are also the first project on VeChain to be public, and I remember when you guys were first getting going, and I heard you talking, Jeff, about being the first public team, and I was like, that's pretty legit. That's pretty awesome. It kind of says a lot that you guys are here, and I'd have to speculate on because you come from bodybuilding, right? And so yep. you're a very what is it? I mean, you got to see it. You got to see the results, and you want to see them now. So you're coming into a pretty dang speculative industry, I guess we could say. And so I could guess that you are desire and crave that that results driven mindset that you want to see it and you're going to do everything you can. Am I off there, or maybe?
Not one bit. I think you're spot on. And it's like, I've participated in NFT projects, so I've seen anonymous projects where the owners, the founders, they're not really around. They're only around when the announcements need to be made and when the mint is happening, and then it kind of disappears. And then there's been projects that are rugged. They really, here's all the tokenomics, the mint fee allocation, the mint sales come in, all right, see, and they head out. And it's like, I'm not for that. That's not me. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, how can we differentiate ourselves from the other VeChain projects? Well, we can show our faces. We can be public. We have nothing to hide. We'll talk to anyone about anything at any time. Just bring it up to us. And just from my personal experience, just being straight up and showing yourself and who you are is going to lead to cultivating a much better community than like trying to stay anonymous. So like you said, the results oriented and driven like mindset, it's like, I think over the time what's happened is with training, like you said, is that you want this instant validation, but over time, as you progress, you kind of see like, okay, this is a daily grind. You got to put in the work in every single day. You get, a fraction of a % better for every workout. If you're staying consistent, you're not going to see a massive change the next day. There might be little phases where you're doing better than other times, but it's more about a sustained effort and consistency over time. So I think a lot of those principles that have built my character in the bodybuilding and powerlifting world just easily carry over, and they're very just translatable to this community, right? And we see how early it is, how innovative it is, and how much adoption is yet to come. So we know if we get in here, stick our VeChain flag on the block, our VeGnomes flag on the VeChain blockchain early, and we keep building that over time, just like a physique, with consistent effort, the community and the collection is going to grow as a whole. So you're spot on.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it definitely shows, because I mean, you guys are out there grinding it out every single day. Did you expect was it 59-minute mint out?
Was. Rob, you want to touch on it first? Because I know you were newer to the space, so I want to give your fresh perspective first, and then I'll
Man, that blew my mind, dude. Like, I was worried. Like I said, I hadn't even participated in any other mints before. That was the first, it happened to be the project I was working on. And I was like, man, what's this going to look like if it doesn't? And a lot of people in Discord were saying, man, it's going to mint out so fast. And I was like, I don't know what to expect. And it blew my mind, man. It was super fun. And it like hooked me there. I was like, dude, I want to keep doing this now. This is so fun. And it's like you said, it's fun to like see everybody appreciating the art. Like I've been making art for a long time, and people have shown love, but this is like, you know, I go to like festivals or shows or whatever, and it's like people didn't necessarily come to see me, and so they're not everybody's stoked, but like, you know, something like the project, when people are in a Discord, it's like they like the art, they're there because of that primarily, you know, maybe not primarily, but like that's what drew them in, you know what I mean? So like for me as an artist, I'm like, this is a lot more fulfilling than a lot of other things I've done, you know what I mean? And the being public thing too is interesting because like I dabbled a lot in like street art, you know, like not graffiti necessarily, but like mural painting and stuff. And like most artists, a lot of artists that come from that background, they choose like a name, you know, like a tag or something. And for a long time, I wasn't sure of like, you know, about that. And I just decided to use my real name. And it's like, I would do murals like when I lived in Houston and stuff, and I would paint my real name on there, you know, and it's like everybody else had tags. And it was like from day one, I kind of felt that way. Like, you know, this is who I am, you know, I'm not running away from it, or I'm not doing anything shady, you know, I'm not doing it illegally. And it's the same thing with this. I'm like, I don't have anything to hide, you know? So I'm like, if anybody has anything issues, like air it out and we will do what we can to make it right, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you go ahead.
I feel like, you know, that's a good business model. Like, hey, you know, these are the guys, we're the guys that are behind the project. This is what we're offering. You know, get in if you want, but it's like you guys are coming through with it, and people are seeing that every day. And I think that more and more people are kind of wanting to follow suit with what you guys are doing.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we're all for it. If we can lead, you know, a wave of anything that's going to add authenticity, genuity, anything to the space, we're all for it. And like, it's like, I think people just need to realize, it's like at a base level analysis, you know, people are thinking, oh, okay, well, I should probably stay anonymous for this project because, you know, then I can kind of get away with a few more things, and, you know, there's less risk involved. I don't have my name out there. People can't get my info, and maybe I can, you know, avoid certain fucking taxes or whatever, right? But if they really analyze the full holistic picture, they'll realize that by being doxxed, it adds so much benefit in just the like respect that the community has for you, right? Because it's like trying to build an anonymous project is going to be a lot harder. It's perfectly doable, but I think people kind of see the pros of being anonymous, and they don't realize that over time the pros of being doxxed is actually going to work a lot more in your favor, and you're going to be able to do what you want, aka building a great community, much more easily and effectively. So going back to the mint, my perception on the VeGnomes mint, same thing. I mean, it's a first project. From my eyes, the marketing's going well. The Twitter page was growing. The Discord was growing properly and faster than a lot of the other VeChain NFT projects at the time. So I had a little bit of positivity in that regard, but there was still this uncertainty that I was like, man, what if this doesn't sell out? Like 3,333, that's a lot of NFTs. Like, are we going to be able to sell this out? And I've heard Miro, the Mad V8's founder, I believe, in his interview with you, he was saying the same thing. It's like, hey, as a founder, every time there's going to be that little shadow of doubt, like, oh man, what if this doesn't sell out? What if this doesn't do well? So I almost think there's going to be a degree to that, you know, for any collection that we work on moving forward. I think that's just, it's almost like an inherent, like, part of our human condition. So I didn't know what to expect going into Mint Day. There was like part of me that was positive, part of me that was like kind of just like afraid a little bit. And so, yeah, Mint Day came, pre-sale did well, and then public sale just flew. And I mean, the Discord chat was flying. Everyone was hyped. We were like, it was a beautiful experience. Me and Rob were both just pumped beyond belief to have it sell out, right? We're sitting here like, we'll be happy if we can sell it out in a week. In less than an hour, 59 minutes on the dot, it's sold out. So that was a huge just like momentum boost for us, I think. And it proved to us, hey, we can do this, and people are here to support. So let's not let off the gas and try to bring as much value and utility as possible, because that's what it's about, you know?
Oh yeah, that's huge. So let's jump forward to Shamanic Oracles. And how did you guys kind of form your partnership with Tyler, with Safe Haven, and just, what did that all look like, and getting to where you're at today with them?
Yeah, so I think that's a perfect segue, because it was like coming from the VeGnomes mint, it gave us that boost of confidence. And then right there, I'm like, okay, how can we move forward, right? Rob's a creative being. He's working on art every single morning. He wakes up at like 5 a.m. and he's got his morning sessions like that. And you can see on his Instagram story too, every day he's pretty much painting every single morning. It's like a morning meditation. I'll let him speak on that a little more later, but he's creating art every day. So why not have it be working towards something that's that we can build in the NFT space that's going to be, that can just bring communities together, right? And so I was like, how can we, work on another collection without just being like, just jumping from one collection to, VeGnomes minted out, see you guys, next collection, see you guys, right? It was like, how can we work on something that's a win-win for both communities, both partners, and still be able to give max value to our first collection, VeGnomes, and not feel like, we're just abandoning them for another project. And so I was a Safe Haven investor. I have been since, around the time I'm getting into Vechain NFTs and whatnot. And I just respect the protocol. When I look at all of the tokens on the VeChain ecosystem, I respect Safe Haven by far the most. And again, that's not giving any shots at any of these other projects. Of course, the marketplace tokens are great. I know there's a lot of Mad Viking Games fans out there. But when I looked at Safe Haven, I go, this is a company that's been around for a minute. I know the chief partnership officer, Tyler Dusan, right? Nebula Matrix. He's so involved in the VeChain NFT space. He's such a genuine guy, just from seeing how giving he is, how generous, and how genuine he is in the VeChain NFT spaces. So I know that, okay, there's a legit employee here, and they have patented decentralized inheritance protocols that they've been working on for quite a while. And I know a lot of these microcap gem altcoins, it takes a few years, right? If they're working on legitimate products, they can have a huge jump and, hey, we just got patented, or hey, we just secured this, awesome partnership. But that doesn't mean the price action is going to immediately blow up either. So I saw, and I still see Safe Haven as like a micro cap gem. And I'm like, it would be incredible if for our next collection, we could create a collection for a company that's a legitimate company. It's not some rug pull, project that's just trying to pull in liquidity and head out. They're actually making real products. And in terms of my vision of the future, I think decentralized inheritance protocols are going to be, completely integrated in our future. And a lot of the products they're working on, just anything with Web3 in the future is going to be huge. And so I reached out to Tyler and I said, hey, man, the VeGnomes team, we want to create your official Safe Haven NFT collection however you want it. And let us know if this is something you're interested in. And he basically got back to us and he's like, yeah, man, I've seen what you've done with VeGnomes. You guys did really well at curating a community, minting out, everything like that. You like checked off all the boxes in terms of like what's important to focus on. He liked the fact that we were doxed as well. So it was kind of just like a perfect connection right there. And we kind of just moved forward. We said, all right, let's all get on a call. Let's open, create another doc and throw down all of our ideas. And one thing I'll say was getting into the Shamanic Oracles project, it was like, I had no idea it was going to go to the degree it was. I thought it was like, hey, here's the VeGnomes team. We're creating your collection. Just let us know how you want it. But Tyler returned with just an absolute massive amount of creativity, thought, ideas, and just overall data to add to the project, right? Like he curated most of the collection items. He gamified it completely, which I had no idea he even wanted to, go the P2E game route. But he added, abilities and buffs and spells to like a lot of the items. And it was just the work he put in was like a testament to the fact that, all right, this is awesome because it's like a team community. It's not like Safe Haven's like, yeah, guys, just kind of create our NFT collection and like, whatever you come up with is cool. It's like, this is our vision. This is what we want. And we're going to go all out. And I'll spend sleepless nights creating this vision, which he did. He was up all-nighters all the time. And we put a lot of work into it. So it was very fulfilling. You know, we can go into more specifics about the project, but I'll let Rob obviously touch on his work on the art, because there's a lot of attributes. It's a 10K collection. It wasn't easy. You know, it was probably his first time doing such a like overall commissioned project, where it was like, you know, there's a lot of revisions, right? Because with art, there's a creative process where you're able to flow on your own, and which I would say was more of the VeGnomes route, right? I still had tweaks that I wanted, but it was a little less corporatized in a sense. So I know it was a large undertaking for him. He absolutely killed it. He put in a crazy amount of time, but I'll let him touch on that.
Yeah, dude, Tyler's a badass, man. I mean, that guy's got vision. You know what I mean? He from the start, he knew what he wanted, and yeah, like he pushed me, man. Like I definitely, you know, we were in a Telegram chat, and it was like once I started working on it, you know, I was sending stuff like several times a day, just images, and he would just always come back and be like, man, I really like that. Can you add this or can you tweak this? And it was like, at first I was like, man, this guy like really is like kind of nitpicking it. But then as we started to go, I was like, dude, he's got great ideas. And, you know, he provided a lot, man. He worked really hard on it too, but it was fun. Yeah, it was a ton of work, man. And once I got in the flow of it, it just felt, you know, it was super fun. And yeah, like I said, he came up with so many like interesting traits and things that I probably would not have necessarily come up with on my own. And even up to like, you know, it was like a couple of days before, he was like, can you add this? Can you add this? And they were all great additions. And even the companions, like that kind of all of a sudden, like we had the companion was like another separate collection almost with the animals. And it was like just another thing. And it was like at that point, we were rolling so much. I think I did all those companions in like 2 days, you know? So it was awesome. And of course, with the 10K, like same thing was coming in again, that feeling of like, oh man, like, is this doable, you know? And everybody came through, man, and it was awesome, dude. But it's funny too, like there's a book, The War of Art, this guy Stephen Pressfield, and I've read it a few times, and it's awesome. Anybody who's creative, I would recommend checking it out. But just about like the resistance to like getting to work. But he talks about that kind of stuff in there too, that feeling of like, you know, can this work or not? And it's like, if you have a healthy like check on yourself, then you should be thinking that kind of stuff. Like you're a psycho if you don't think anything could fail, you know what I mean? And so it's like every time maybe it gets a little easier, but that's always there, you know what I mean? And the 10K collection definitely had me a little worried about it, but it was awesome, man.
Yeah, it turned out awesome. I'll tell you, my favorite attribute out of that collection is the bottle rocket. I don't know why. I'm into that bottle rocket, and then the ice fishing background. Yeah, you nailed it. On those. So are you guys more involved than just the art and the marketing on that, or are you guys gonna be? Are you gonna get into the game and stuff? Because I mean, I read that article that Tyler wrote, and you know, it took me about a week and a half to read it because it was so big and full of information. Right. But he did a bang-up job on that, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to Rob's the artist. Like I marketed the project and set up some of the back-end logistics, like the generation again and stuff like that. We had help from Pam Stone for this project as well, though, some of the coding, metadata stuff. But I mean, it's our project, right? We created it with the Safe Haven Foundation. It's Safe Haven's official collection, but it was curated and created by the VeGnomes team. So that's always going to be a collection under our umbrella. As far as the P2E game goes, and a lot of what's to come with Fusion and everything like that, we're obviously like masterminding with Tyler. But like I said, a lot of this is his vision from the jump. He's done P2E game type stuff. So he has experience in the space. He knows what it takes. He's done it successfully. So there's no question in my mind that he's going to get what he says he will done. And that was something I was very adamant on from the jump. I said, hey man, like I want to be transparent. If we're claiming P2E game, then we're making a P2E game, and it's going to be exactly what we say it is. It's not going to be anything less. And if you do want to go that route, then we're not here for it, because it's just, that's not how you build a long-lasting community, right? And so there's no question in my mind he's gonna kill it, and make an epic little play to earn game and you know, build out the whole fusion protocol and breeding exactly as he has vision. So in terms of like, you know, laying that vision out, that's his vision, but we're going to be there to help make that happen in any capacity that we can.
So Rob, will you be doing like in-game artwork, like animations and stuff like that, or does that go to somebody else to do?
I mean, I don't have any experience or background with like animation stuff. I mean, we kind of discussed that a little bit, and I think, you know, I think at first it would be more like just kind of if I could provide art for like, you know, whatever would be needed for like certain screens or whatever. But if it eventually, if it becomes like a game where it's like he mentioned, like a 3-dimensional type of game, and it's like that would for sure be sourced out. Like maybe I could help, you know, contribute with the designs, but I don't have any experience with that kind of stuff. Mine is mostly, you know, all my experience is like more like graphic design kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think the first take right now is from this first collection is to create, you know, some sort of 2.5D game, and then he has a long-term vision of when metaverse things become much more prevalent, much more user-friendly. You know, he wants to create a 3D immersive world eventually. That's years down the line, but the current focus is like 2.5D, and we have talked a little bit about, yeah, like he'll probably want Rob to create, you know, some of the backgrounds and battle scenes and stuff like that. So I think, you know, nothing's guaranteed, right? Because Safe Haven also has an artist, Crypto S Vet. He does some cool art. He's already done a little bit for Shamanic Oracle. So I think we have exactly what we need. Are the like exactly who's doing what is exactly ironed out, not quite, but you know, we'll create exactly what we're planning to, in a sense.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever that, you know, whatever I'm needed, you know, for I'm here for it, you know.
Right.
So how's the fusion and the breeding and all that stuff look simplified? Because there's a lot to it. I mean, reading through that stuff, I'm like, okay, so you carry the 1 and hold the 4 over here, and you know.
Right. So there's essentially 5 fusion levels.
What's that?
What's that?
Sorry. That'll get you the cliff notes.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Right. We'll see if I can summarize. Again, Tyler should be on this call because he's the one that can lay this out. It's his vision. He'll lay it out beautifully. But if I can give it a shot, it's essentially there's 5 fusion levels. And so you're going to have to gain fusion NFT. So it's actually a custom piece that Rob's already made. And it's basically just an NFT that is like just like a fusion token. It's like use this token to fuse 2 shamans together, essentially. And how those are going to be earned is through staking your shamans. It's going to be earned through completing missions in the play to earn game. And I believe those are the main 2 metrics. There may be other ways to earn them as of now. I'm not exactly sure how he wants to go about that. But basically, you earn fusion NFTs, and then you're going to burn fusion NFTs and shaman to create an upgraded shaman. So basically, let's say you have a female shaman that's got an alien artifact. It's an alien. It's got a really rare necklace that has a cool ability, and it's got a certain mask that you like. And then you have another shaman that's like that's blank. It's another female. No rare skins, no rare handheld, nothing you really want to keep, maybe other than just like the Safe Haven vest that it has or something like that. So level 1, they're both level 1. You fuse those 2 together, and you're essentially going to be able to pick and combine which traits you want to fuse together. So obviously you want to keep the ape or alien. I forgot what the rare skin. You want to keep the handheld. You want to keep that alien artifact, and you fuse those together. Let's say the other one has like the rare tome, right? And then basically you create a new NFT that has a combination of those traits that you want. And it's basically going to be a lot more powerful within the game because you've combined those traits into just a more synergistic or just all-encompassing character or player. And then there's levels to that, right? So that's a level 2 NFT. And one other thing to touch on is, say you can create legendary items. So let's say you have 2 alien artifacts and you burn both of those. That's going to create a legendary, basically an upgraded alien artifact. So you can still fuse items of that's the same item, and that's going to upgrade that item specifically a little bit more. And then there's essentially that's the layout, and then you can do that up to 5 times. You can fuse an NFT up to level 5 fusion, if that makes sense. So I think that's the simplified explanation.
So then are all those fusions going to be like piecework for you, Rob, or are you able to kind of jumble everything together to where it spits out the correct piece?
I'm not sure if there'll be able to be a program to do that. I don't know if Jeff, you know that, but even if it is manual, I mean, it wouldn't be terrible. It would just be me going, because I use Adobe Illustrator. It has layers, and it would just be more or less just selecting layers on or off. But it could be, I mean, that could get quite cumbersome if a lot of people are doing it. And I think there was mention of perhaps a program being able to do it.
Yeah, so if you look in the article, the foundation set aside a percentage of the mint sales for future smart contract fees. And so this is something that's going to be basically built out in a smart contract that has a generator, and it's going to run. It's going to check, you know, okay, this wallet has this NFT and this NFT, and the metadata says they have these traits. So then you're going to be able to select which traits you want to fuse, et cetera, et cetera. This is how Tyler explained it to me. So there is going to be, you know, a protocol that's built out for that to actually fuse the NFTs. As far as future artwork, though, what's been discussed so far is that for legendary items, we don't just want them to look the same, right? A legendary alien artifact, you had to burn 2 alien artifacts to get that legendary handheld. Why should it look the exact same? It needs to stand out. So in terms of legendary items, what I believe is going to happen is Rob's going to be adding little tweaks to the items, whether it's like, you know, a golden glow off the alien artifact, or blood dripping from the tooth of the golden Oni mask if someone fuses 2 of those, etc. So it's going to be small little touch-ups that show that it's like a level 2 or like an upgraded legendary item. Okay. But it's not going to be like a whole collection rework type of thing.
Awesome. I know I'll be fusing and burning. I minted, I think, 39 of those.
Nice.
No,
love to hear it.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I like what you guys done with VeGnomes, and then with you guys partnering with Safe Haven. I mean, yeah, like you were saying earlier, Safe Haven is a good quality project that's been around for quite a while, and they're you know, they're actually making moves and making things happen. So I mean, I don't see it as a bad investment by any means. And, you know, a simple play to earn game, I'm for it. You know, you get me into some of that 3D world business, I don't know if I'm going to be in it too much, but something simple, V-Pumps, play to earn game. Oh yeah.
I'm with you, man. And I think like Emmett said on his interview, I'm referencing all your past interviews. It shows that I actually watched them, right? Is that it's like, how can we get people interacting with the blockchain? It doesn't have to be something crazy. It doesn't have to be, we're making this massive 3D world. Let's it's 2022. This stuff is new. Let's get people using the blockchain however we can, even if it's, you know, a little more tame or just kind of for fun. And that's kind of where the innovation starts. So I agree. If we can produce even something basic, why not do it, right? People are going to use it. They love the blockchain technology. The education's only going to grow. There's only going to be more people coming into the space that want to play on chain. So let's get started early, because the sooner we start, the sooner it blossoms into something amazing, in my opinion.
Well, and the crazy thing is, you know, what is simple for the end user, you know, as far as a 2.5D game, is anything but simple for you guys behind it. I mean, it's just talking to you guys and hearing about the depths of the project and the fusing and everything. And then, you know, reading Tyler's article and listening to Tyler getting into detail about this is almost like listening to Brad getting into detail about blockchain. It's like, what?
Look at all around. What's going on? It's
and
crazy.
I know that at the end of the day, it's going to be simple for me to use. And
that's the goal.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's next for you guys. I mean, you've got 2 amazing, successful collections that are building every day. I know you're working on something else. What do you got coming down the line?
Rob, I'll let you do the honors.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, I can actually show you. Well, so here, dude, real quick, I'll give you a little peek in my studio here too. People might want to see some of this stuff. But yeah, so like I said, I'm a my background is like as a painter, you know, and so got lots of these different, you know, I do a lot of characters and stuff. And I had some Grim Reaper paintings here, and Jeff was here one day and he was just commenting on these Reapers, how much he liked them. And so we started saying, well, what if that was our next collection? Hang on, what did I do here? We started thinking, like, what if that was our next collection? So I actually have some prints made. So you can see here, this was the original painting. This is a print of it.
Oh, wow.
So it's like this Grim Reaper with like a kind of Hawaiian shirt pattern. So then we just started cooking up this idea of a collection around that. And so I can share a little bit of it. We don't want to give away too much, but here, let me share my screen. I'll show you. So it's we're still, the verdict still out on the name, but we're thinking V Reapers. But let's see. So I'll give you a quick sneak here. Are you seeing my screen?
Yep.
All right, cool. So this is kind of like the base character here. You can see I've got a lot of layers here, and then let's give you like a quick sneak peek of like some of the variations. This is like the basic stuff, but different colored cloaks, skulls, lots of handhelds. So we've got a lot of ideas. We just really started kind of getting the Google Doc down as far as like what we're gonna have in here, but there's some cool stuff, man. I won't go too much into it, but he's gonna be a groovy dude.
Where's the bottle rocket?
We could add it. That one actually was from VeGnomes first, man.
I know.
So, yeah. So we could add the bottle rocket in there, but yeah, we've got some cool ideas, man. I love the idea or like the theme of like how dark the Grim Reaper kind of is, and then making it more like cartoony and fun. So I've got a lot of good ideas, man, and
Yeah.
you know, just planning on continuing to reinvest, you know, things from this project back into the community, you know, like people who are supporting us and stuff. So yeah, we've got some cool stuff cooking up, man, and stay tuned.
Yeah, I'm pumped about this collection. It looks beautiful already, but I love the vibe. There's a lot he didn't show you there. There's a lot to it, and like he said, it's like there's you know, a dark vibe to Grim Reaper and death and whatnot, but then some of like he's got these crazy colorful skulls, and it has that like psychedelic, like vibrant, highly saturated look that just kind of pops. And for me, in my eyes, which is obviously biased, it looks like just like this iconic profile picture collection, and I think it's going to do well. I know it's important to tie in a lot of utility, so we want to make sure that we utilize everything that's available on the chain, right? So like I was saying right before we started this video, you know, staking wasn't really an option with VeGnomes, at least right from the get-go. It's just, I mean, me and you know it both. We've been here since the beginning of these profile picture collections and everything. So it's like this space has come up so much in the past 6 months. I was using the World of V shared marketplace on day one. That thing was taking forever to load. It was crashing. You couldn't really get anything done. And on that day, if I had to guess where are they going to be in 6 months, I wouldn't have guessed they would have come this far, to be honest. They've implemented so much. They've upgraded the UI. It's more user friendly. It looks clean and sleek. And so we want to, you know, as our collections come out, we want to use everything that's available to us. So there's obviously going to be staking pool allocation and stuff like that. And we have quite a few pieces of utility that we want to add that we didn't have available for VeGnomes. So I'm pumped about it. Love the art, and I love that we're able to do more with it, you know?
So will there be, I mean, I'm sure you'll have some kind of whitelist for VeGnome holders and things of that nature, but is there going to be any kind of an airdrop for, you know, you hold, you know, a lot of the time it's 3, and I got to suspect that 3 is kind of a big number with you guys, given the collection and the minting price.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's what I can say. Holding 3 VeGnomes is absolutely going to give you some sort of benefit. Which benefit that is, I don't want to make any big claims right now, because To be honest, the collection size is still up in the air for us right now. It's going to be somewhere between 3,333 and 5,000. We're pretty sure. We don't want to go above 5K. I don't think it's necessary for this collection. As far as an airdrop, we absolutely want to, reserve a small percentage of the supply to airdrop to VeGnomes holders, whether that's just, certain wallets holding quite a bit, or if it's a little more generous. The thing I have a reservation about, or I want to make sure I'm aware of, is that the more that we airdrop for free to, say, VeGnomes holders, the more selling pressure there is going to be right off the bat, right? Because it's like, if you give away half of the supply for free, you got to bring in that many extra buyers to kind of level out that sell pressure, if that makes sense. And again, a lot of our VeGnomes holders, we have the VeChain NFT community as a whole is comprised of just diamond handlers, right? I mean, we're 7 months in, people know how early they still are. And so a lot of these people are diamond handling a lot of these projects they believe in. So we know there's going to be diamond handlers, but we just want to make sure it's fair for everyone, say, even new participants that never even heard about VeGnomes that are new to the space, right? We don't want them to come in, have to mint in the public sale for some wildly increased price, only to have some dude who got their airdrops for free just kind of dumping on the floor. And I think we're going to do there's going to be a small percentage allocation for floor sweeps and stuff like that. So I have no doubt in my mind that we're going to be able to, maintain this Reaper floor. But the amount of airdrops is still to be determined. And how many, like, say, gnomes you have to hold to get a free Reaper airdrop is also to be determined. But that will be prevalent to one degree or another.
Yeah, man. And sorry, go ahead, dude.
Oh no, I didn't.
I was just gonna say we did some fun stuff too, like with the gnomes, as far as like we had some T-shirts and some custom painting giveaways and stuff, and I'd like to do some more stuff like that, maybe some prints or something. So like physical things that we can send out, to kind of. I think it's just kind of cool to get something physical from the project as well. And so yeah, man, we got some cool stuff in the works. And like we said before, the community is amazing, man. There's, too many guys to even shout out, but there's some awesome dudes in there. Just been supporting from the jump, and just every day in there, just answering questions and answering questions better than I can with newcomers and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's been amazing. So lots of gratitude for all those guys.
Yeah, it's an amazing tight knit community, but at the same time we're tight knit, but we're extremely welcoming and helpful, eager to help new people coming into the community. I mean, you hear it on space almost every single day. There's a new person. Set up your VeChainThor wallet, and we'll send you, an NFT. It might not be like a rank 1 Mad V8 that you're sending off for free or something like that, but I mean, people are giving up free NFTs to welcome people in all the time.
Yeah, for sure. I think something that's huge is, like, you hear all the time on spaces, people that are new, they go, I didn't even know VeChain had NFTs. Mm-hmm. When you're hearing that every single time, that's when okay, the majority of VeChain holders don't even know that the NFT ecosystem exists. So it's our duty to get that out to them and show them, hey, we're here. This is what we're building. Do you want to participate? And if so, here's an easy way to participate. And I think just slowly over time, the ecosystem is going to keep growing, especially if VeChain keeps progressing as, an individual project of their own.
Yeah, it's definitely a good place to be, in my opinion. We just got a couple minutes left here. Do you guys have any final parting words for the community? I mean, we got a sneak peek. We kind of hit on a lot of good stuff here. It was a productive.
Absolutely. I would say my parting words is just one. I want to thank you for allowing us this space to come on here and speak. I'll be sharing this video obviously on my social medias and everything like that. I think it helps us more than maybe you even know, right? I think you do these interviews because it's fun. You know that it does help grow the community, everything. But as a project, you're giving us the opportunity to come on here, show our face, and just explain what we're all about. And I think that's huge because it doesn't need 1 million views for it to have an impact on those who do watch it, right? The tight knit members of the VeChain community, they see this and they see we're legit guys, that's going to have a big impact. So one, I want to extend my appreciation to you just for giving us this opportunity to take some of your time and attention and share what we're about. And two, I just want to share my overwhelming just excitement with the entire community. Like I haven't had more fun with really anything in my entire life other than bodybuilding, powerlifting, and nutrition. And right now, this is taking precedent. I'm thinking about this more. I'm going to go to the gym later, but I'm thinking about this NFT space and projects and how we can expand and give back to the community and do well for ourselves, right? I'm not going to sit here and deny that, of course. I'm sitting here thinking about that more than I'm thinking about going to work out. And so that, to me, with how passionate I am about training, just shows how serious I am and how much I'm enjoying it, right? Every minute of that we spent developing the VeGnomes project and throwing down ideas on the dock and hopping on calls and looking at art, right? Like I love when Rob just texts me sneak peeks of what he's working on. It just lights this fire inside me. So all I'm saying is it's been a blessing every minute. Like when they say enjoy your job, do what you love, I absolutely love this. It's been so fun, so fulfilling, and it's absolutely only the beginning. Time feels like it's flying by because there's so much going on, but at the same time, it feels like it's been just a few months, which it kind of really has. So it's like there's so much happening in such a short amount of time that it feels like a long time, but it feels like a short amount of time as well. So I can't even imagine where we're going to be as a community, as a collection, as like the VeGnomes team community size in the next year, because we're really only 4 or 5 months in, not even. So I'm loving every second of it. I want to show the community that I'm here to stay, and we're going to keep working. And it's been a blessing. That's my parting words.
Yeah, man. Well, again, thank you for having us, dude. We super appreciate it and appreciate everything you do for the community at large. And yeah, man, what he said, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like foot on the gas and we're going, dude, you know what I mean? And thank you, supreme gratitude to everybody who's supporting and all the people who are going to support, because we know it's going to keep coming, dude. And we're going to be here for the long haul, man. So hop on the train.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I appreciate your guys' time today, and we'll definitely have to do this again. Maybe, after you guys launch your next collection, or maybe a Saturday comes up where we just want to jump on. Who knows? I'm up for anything.
I love it. And before we end this, we should probably mention the giveaway, correct?
Let's do it.
So thank you to everyone who sat here and watched through this entire interview. You're much appreciated. I'm sure Tricky Boom appreciates that YouTube watch time for his algorithm, because that's very helpful. But so to extend our appreciation for listening about our project, we want to give away, let's give away 2 VeGnomes and 2 shamanic oracles and 2 companions. I don't care. Let's do 2 of each. 6 total NFTs. That's a lot, and I think it's worth it. We want to keep reinvesting. I mean, we didn't even talk about that, but we've been slowly chipping back into the VeGnomes community wallet, and with future collections, we want to just keep reinvesting. So this is a moment where we can reinvest 6 NFTs back to you guys for giving us your time and attention. And I guess you set the parameters on how that giveaway goes down, right, Tricky?
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
If there's a bottle rocket in there, man, he's just going to pocket that one.
I love it.
All right, thanks, fellas.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Have a good one.
Peace.